Some of them are not prepared. Girlfriend, it's not you, okay? I say this because governance means preparation. Governance means there's no reason for us to be talking about this. So the lack of preparation that I'm seeing is very, very disturbing. When busy internet came in, when all these other internet bodies came in, there was no governance because we came before the governance. GINKS came before governance. GISPA came before governance. So we've been governing ourselves for a very, 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 very long time. And these are the people that we need to be getting with as youth. So how many of you know about GISPA? Raise your hand if you know about GISPA. Raise your hand if you know about GISPA. Okay? If you don't know about GISPA, you need to know about GISPA because they've been governing themselves for ever since we started. This is information technology. We can't sit here and talk about how we're going to do something if you don't know about something. Let's not get it twisted. So, when Cyber Series came on board, I sat up there and talked to young people, old people, any people about the impact of this particular technology. And we're not going to use the word internet so that you all beat me with that word for the rest of the time that I'm going to be here today. This is an amazing tool for education. This is an amazing tool for communication. This is an amazing tool for getting together. Let's get it together. So, for the rest of the time I'm sitting here, young people, and usually I'm the oldest one in the audience. Anybody over 50 up in here? You over 50? Thank you, Jesus. Because I am just too tired of being the oldest one up in here. But I'm sitting here with young people because I learned from you. Don't act like you don't understand what that means. You better understand that you need to know something in order to teach me something. Have a good day.
I'm a current graduate from Ghana Telecom University College. I just want to know if there is a particular hashtag for this program to help those outside see what's going on.
We're talking about bringing on board the youth to participate in internet governance. I want to draw your attention on some few stages and what to consider before bringing them on board, or to bring them on board successfully. The first stage is, are they really aware that there's something called internet governance, what it can do for them? So make sure that you find out. Second, find ways and means to persuade them that it's going to help them and help the nation. So in doing so, I think you can convince them to accept or to adopt or to accept the forum. So these are the three stages I think you have to work on seriously to make successful the Ghana IGF. Thank you.
I'm an executive committee member of ISOC. This morning I just want to appreciate the organizers of this very forum. My little concern is the absence of our very youth that we want to attract to this kind of forum. Some of our youth from the second cycle institutions, so that we can catch them early before they get out of control. So this is very, very important. Now the second issue I want to raise about, internet for education. This is something that is missing in Ghana. I don't know if any of you have heard of MOOCs. MOOCs, massive open online courses. This is a project that is ongoing in the developed world. But in our part of the world, we have neglected this particular important program. It provides a very good window of opportunity for youth to fill in the skills gap that they are not able to acquire in their normal education. When you go on MOOCs, you can find all kinds of very wonderful skills training courses, some of which are for free. And some of us who have our passion in e-learning are very passionate about this. We need to seriously begin to consider creating local content to establish our own African MOOCs that will now encourage and attract the youth. Because if they know they are on internet to gain skills and knowledge to improve their opportunities, this is going to be something that will be very attractive to them. Thank you very much.
Elizabeth Korasari. Actually, I'm a woman in tech. I do a lot of activities in technology. I'm very happy to be part of this program, but I think we really need to understand why we are here. You are talking about internet governance, and assuming everyone in this room understand what you mean by internet governance. I believe as the intro for this program, we should have been given a little idea as to what internet governance really is and the tenets of internet governance. You just hit on what each of you have been doing, but you never have dealt with the issue of internet governance. And the second issue is that we are dealing with the youth, and I don't know what your cut-off point is when you're talking about the youth. But here we are, this day and age, it is my 3-year-old child in the house who is fixing all my gadgets for me. And then you are starting from youth. I don't even know who the youth are in this particular issue. So let's get down to the root of what we are doing so that we can capture them from their basic school in the crèche, who have so much knowledge, and start with this IGF thing. Thank you.
In the internet space. And then I also say that IGF, the global IGF event starts on the 10th, and then they have remote participation, and then I would like everyone here to actually look out for the remote links and also try to participate on the event.
So I want to address Patrick Atichogbi from GTUG. He was asking whether we have any hashtag. Yes, we are present online now. We are streaming live at GhanaIGF.org, and also Twitter handle is GhanaIGF, and Facebook as well, GhanaIGF. So we are present. And we also appreciate Sharia Thompson for your constructive criticism. Also, we would like to also put it on board that IGF is Internet Governance Forum. So those of us who don't know much, we encourage you to go online and to share a bit. Internet governance is basically bringing resources together. What do I mean? Government, the private sector, academia, trying to use this and trying to what? Try to govern ourselves. So it is accepted that before we have the GISPA cyber series, all these things, we were all working independently. But now there should be, we want to know that the IGF is global, but Ghana also form part. So now, as Ghana, throughout the program, as the program outline states, we're going to see the part that Ghana plays. So we have other bodies, like the GISPA you mentioned, they will come on board. So let's wait, try to go online and read more on the IGF.
Has been so much a nightmare in the youth's mind. And the question that was asked as to whether the youth is aware of IGF and what IGF does, I think there is more work to be done than has already been done, because seriously, I don't think about 1% of KNUST population even knows of IGF. It's only a few of us who are within the Computer Science Society and the Telecom Engineering and then some of the other engineering group that knows of Internet Governance Forum. And even with that, it's not all of us who actually understand this. And so I was very much excited again when I heard more of the youth should have been brought to this forum. And then even if the youth is not brought to the forum, after the forum, I would say what next? We should be able to make sure we go on some kind of outreach to the various institutions to more of elaborate things for them to understand. Thank you very much.
We'll be collaborating with ISOC Ghana so as that we can organize forums on various campuses that we have presence, and as well as also dedicate a session at our annual leadership conference 2016 at the University of Cape Coast for us to also have a longer deliberation there. And I think this morning's discussion has been fruitful. Let's keep engaging even as we leave this hall. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Good morning. And thank you, Eric Akumia. We have just come through an energetic session for the youth. And we are all very appreciative of the interest shown, the involvement, and the enthusiasm to carry the IGF debate going. Interestingly, when the issues for the youth participation in the World Summit on the Information Society were being discussed in Accra at this particular venue, we had very little involvement of the Ghanaian youth. It was rather youth groups from other parts of Africa that dominated. We all know that in ICT development, it is the youth who are the leaders of today. So it is encouraging that as we are preparing towards the global IGF, we get our youth in their numbers also passionate about the issues of the internet. From the interactions, it was also clear that different concepts, different positions, different ideas about the same issue were emerging. And it is for this particular reason that you will continue to hear the use of stakeholders or multi-stakeholders. The IGF debate recognizes and accommodates the opinions and positions of the different stakeholders, no matter how diverse they become. There is no issue of capture. No particular stakeholder has control over the course of discussions for the internet governance. And whatever determination or the outcome of this workshop, it is going to serve as the voice or our contribution to the continental position, that for Africa, and ultimately be part of the voice of the entire global community when the IGF convenes in Brazil. The ceremony now we are about to begin now addresses issues of stakeholder interests. That imbalance, we are content to have Dorothy here as a youth. So we begin this session by hearing statements either of solidarity, either of issues of passionate interest that need to be conveyed to set the tone for the entire duration of this Ghana IGF Forum, and to clarify issues. I observed on the poster that this is the second Ghana Internet Governance Forum. To be politically correct, we would say it's 2015 Ghana Internet Governance Forum. Otherwise, it will be, but this is the third forum, as I'm aware. So, as we keep the discussions going, we shouldn't lose count of contributions of earlier IGFs, because the end result of all contributions are captured in the compendium by the global community. So, with these brief remarks, I have sitting on the high table eminent citizens, professionals in their own right, and managers of the internet in Ghana. Their widespread experiences, their leadership experiences, and the institutions they represent would give us a toast to what our deliberations would involve. From the list I have, we will listen to the remarks from GISPA, then the National Communications Authority, followed by the National Information Technology Agency, NITA, then Advanced Information Technology Institute, Fianan Center of Excellence, Internet Society, and I don't think we have Garnet. Oh, you talk for Garnet. So without further ado, let me give to Professor Nee Quino, who we all know has made it possible for the whole of Africa to benefit from a global resource. Your contributions will always be echoed at every gathering of internet techies. So on behalf of the gathering, I'm presenting the mic to you to listen to what message of welcome you have for us. Thank you.
Interest I see here, to me, is encouraging. And even though this may be our third and we should have had more, I think it's important we're having this one. And so I look forward to the valuable exchanges. How do we balance the often conflicting governance objectives? And I believe this is a national issue. It's something that we have to do. Now, as a nation, it's good that we're discussing among ourselves to determine this balance. In other words, someone may err towards privacy, others may err towards security. And that balance needs to be determined by the community for themselves. And so we need to pay attention to that. And it's important that it's being done at the national level because of the impact of the internet on economic growth. And national policy tends to affect the growth that you have. So different locations may have different policies and we may also gain different benefits out of the internet. So it's very important we do it at a local level. Now, as the internet is becoming somewhat a utility for most people, consumers, it's also becoming the open architecture for infrastructures. Now, that means you are working with an infrastructure of infrastructures. It is also, therefore, interesting that it is revealing questions on the balance between openness and freedom of expression, safety, security, and privacy, access and affordability, human rights in real space, and what is the rights in virtual space. Do you want a single internet or tolerate a fragmented internet, capacity, choice? All these are issues that we must, in some sense, deliberate and understand why we are making the balance in a particular way. Now, as the world is becoming more data-oriented and to some extent more algorithmic, we should be looking at long-term issues. And the importance of youth in particular is striking to us, as the chairman observed. And we should be even more concerned because we are migrating the tools of the internet deeper. In other words, if it's software, we are beginning to train child programs. If it is